I was playing Gigantic today and I realized we were kind of getting cooked. And my teammate was typing in chat and he had no clue how to play Rush. Wasn't mad at him or anything like that. It happens due to the game. So what I wanted to do is actually make a video on how to play Gigantic and how to just better yourself when it comes to playing this game. So there's 5 things I want to focus on today, and that's going to be positioning, gameplay strategy, team comps, builds slash counter builds, and then creatures. To start out, let's talk about team comp. Um, so on the selecting screen, this is where the game really starts. Why? Because this is where you get to see what gaps need to be filled in on your team. So if there's no healer, you want to try and go a healer to help support your team and sustain in the team fights. If no one picked a tank, go a tank so you can frontline, apply the crowd control, lock down the other characters, peel for your teammates if someone is getting ran down by maybe the assassins, or you just need a body block for them so they don't get killed during the fight. All right, and when you're loading in and you're on the loading screen, look who you're playing against. You notice that maybe they have double healer, double tank, things of that nature. So then you want to try and get a lot of poison in your kit if you can, or recommend it to your teammates, because poison will reduce the amount of healing effects. And if they have a lot of assassins, try and get a lot of CC, slows, stuns, anything that will put them at a disadvantage, debuff them, so you can help peel for your team and you can help peel for yourself so they can't just easily, run at you and kill you. Now let's go into creatures. So when it comes to creatures, this is a bit tricky one, only because you don't have full control of this. Um, because one of your teammates can beat you to building a creature. You may not have a lot of focus, so I'm gonna make this one a little bit more generalized. So when it comes to building creatures, especially in the beginning of the game, you want to try and get a bloomer down immediately as possible, because sometimes what I've noticed, my teammates do not build a bloomer for whatever reasons. So it's always like a Cyclops or something. So try and beat one of your teammates to getting a bloomer down. You at least want one, sometimes two, but you need at least one because this game is heavily team fighting oriented, and there's a lot of times where it's just a lot of hit and runs and it's like, oh, I'm pretty low now, I gotta go heal. But then there's a Cyclops. It can heal you if it is stationary, but it's only gonna do like 35 a tick or so, and that's not gonna be enough for you to just like get healed up really quickly and then go back to support your team. And then if the enemy team is like trying to attack your creatures in the back a lot, throw down a Cerberus. It it'll reveal the opposer quicker, um, so that'll give you more time to rotate over. And the Cerberus has stuns in its kit. It's a bit tanky too, so by itself, it has a good amount of self-sustain, and it'll just be easier for you to try and eliminate them, especially if you find them and they're like dazed or something like that. So that's going to be a perfect setup for you. And when it comes to actually upgrading the creatures, what I like to do or would recommend is I would probably upgrade from the back up, or at least one of them in the back, and then start to upgrade the other ones further up. Only because what I've noticed sometimes, what happens a lot, you would save up all your focus, maybe 2 to 3, and you finally get to upgrade your creature that was maybe controlling maybe the center of one of the sides of the map, and it gets killed immediately because you lose a team fight, you don't have full control, so you have to fall back, um, or it just didn't fully develop, so it couldn't even defend itself, which happens a couple of times. So only build those creatures like more in a uh, generalized like contested area when you're confident that you can defend this. Um, so like if you were defending that point, a particular point that's been contested for quite a bit, but you've been controlling it that whole time, that's when I would try and build it. Um, or when you're like done attacking and then you can build it. But then again, that's still a little risky, because it's typically in the attacking phase, the likeliness of you surviving is kind of slim. So then they'll just push back in, and they'll more than likely just take out the creature, and then there goes all that hard work you put in to upgrade that creature. So only build them when you have full control of that particular point. And let's get into gameplay strategies. So what I like to do when I'm playing, I'm always thinking of my next move. I'm always looking at the map, so I always know what to do and help best support my team. Let's say if you're all fighting on the left side of the map, and then you realize your creature's being attacked on the right side, I will then first ping it to notify my teammates, like, hey, someone's attacking one of our creatures. I then wait to see if someone's going to rotate over before I do, because you don't want to have too many numbers just rotate to the creatures, because then they can just rotate in from behind you and then you'll get sandwiched in, and then you all can get easily wiped. So I would typically wait to see who goes. If no one goes, then you go. Um, because you don't want to just easily let them contest this particular side of the map for free, you know. So defend your creatures, always looking at the map. Just know what's always going on, all right? You don't want to get flanked by an assassin because you weren't looking or paying attention. Um, so when it comes to like actually pushing in, when you're just contesting a point, I like to try and play with my character is suited best. So, if I'm playing a ranged character, I'm gonna sit behind my tanks, next to maybe my healers, next to my other ranged characters. So one, we can help burst down anyone who comes to attack me or them, so we can easily take them out together. You don't want to be too far up, especially past your tank, because then that would just make you the frontliner. And if you're squishy and you're quote unquote the frontliner, you're more than likely just gonna die instantly, and you won't even be able to react or do anything unless you have like a definite game plan. You have a very coordinated attack to like maybe bait them in and then you just dash out, or if you have like a big ult, then yes, maybe you can like just become the front line for those few seconds. But generally, you don't want to overextend and become that frontliner as a squishy, because you're, like I said, you're just gonna die instantly. And if you have pushes, any knockups, knockbacks, things like that, try and play, where you can knock people off the map. Try and, use your character where it's best, so you can easily get a pick on them from just knock them off the map, knock them into the water, things of that nature. And if you're contesting a point, and you have a creature built, play off of your creature. If you have a Cyclops and it's blocking out the other route and you can only be funneled in one way, this contests that one like hallway, that one tunnel. It's just gonna make it harder for them to get to you. And if they try to back out, you already know where they're gonna go. Because once again, that one area is blocked off. And if you stay on top of the creature itself when you're attacking, it'll provide some form of damage, some form of CC, and that's just easy damage when you're in these team fights. And it's automatic in a sense. You don't have to really do anything. As long as you're in the area of your creature, you're chilling. That's easy CC and damage. All right, going to positioning. I kind of mentioned it before, but just to reiterate it. So once again, just position your character in the best spot where you're suited. So once again, if you're ranged, you want to be behind your tanks. maybe stick to with someone so you both can help each other when maybe the assassin jumps on you. If you're a frontliner, please, 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 be the frontliner or the tank, in other words, as well. Just be in front of your team. You want to be the first person the enemy team sees, right? Because you don't want your squishies to be further up than you, because then they're just going to get eliminated immediately because they don't have enough health as you. They may not have the mobility as you, and your support's more than likely going to be focusing on you because you have the most health. You're the designated frontliner, so you're more than likely going to be the one who is protected the most. So just make sure you're always in the front. And if your character once again has pushes, knockbacks, try and fight people if you're being ran down or if you want to try and get a quick pick. And if the map allows you to knock them off the map, maybe into the water, things like that, off the edge, try and play there a little bit, especially if you're being chased. You can easily get a pick when you're trying to run away, when you're chasing someone down. All right. And when it comes to the last thing, building, um, very important to once again look who you're playing against so you know how to build, how to counter them, how to help support your team. If you're fully focusing on healing as to support that game, look what can increase your healing, maybe the duration. Um, can I go into getting armor for my team to reduce and mitigate overall damage? Can I give them some stamina when I'm healing? Things of that nature. So if you're a tank, then just look on this build to get extra health, more armor, things like that. Same thing for damage, extra damage, some CC, you know. Display your role and display what is suited for your team and against the team. And to go into the counter building, if they have a lot of tanks, you want a lot of armor break, you want a lot of anti-healing, you want a lot of poison, all that good stuff. Stuns, slows, so they can't easily run at you. Alright, and I want to throw this in here as well, just like one last thing. And for general, when you're attacking the Guardian, just fully commit, because you're more than likely gonna die once you go in because they're going to be one, prepared for it, two, it might trigger a creature or two, so you're going to be taking a lot of damage from not only the creatures but the players itself. So just fully commit, just die hitting the guardian itself, because let's say if you don't fully commit and then the attacking phase is over, you die, and then they immediately get 10 orbs off of you. So if you're going in, just fully commit. It is what it is. If you want to peel out, look at your stamina. If you're like, oh, if I run now, will I have enough stamina to get out of here? And if you want to retreat, I usually like to leave around like the 6 second mark, because that'll give me enough time. But if I'm like, oh, they're still chasing me down, I definitely can't get out. Just to let them eliminate you. It is what it is. You're better off doing that now than, you stalling and then boom, free orbs. It just staggers the team a little bit more, and then boom, you lose a creature or two. All right. So, um, this is the end of the video. I plan on doing a little bit more videos like this in the future. So I'm gonna do a play-by-play. So let me know which character you would love to see with me applying these kind of rules and tips and tricks that I just showcased to you. Other than that, have a great day, guys. Thank you.